Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we are playing Medieval Dynasty.
I used to have a simple life. Whatever needed doing round the farm, I'd do it. Being the eldest son, it's tough. But at least we had a living, and our plates were never empty. Then, the war came. I lost everything overnight. The last thing I remember is Father pushing me away, yelling for me to run, to live. At first, I didn't know what to do. Then, I remembered. A story my mother once told me. A story about my uncle, Jordan. He made a modest fortune up north, in a peaceful valley far away from the war. For weeks I held on to that thought, until the valley from my mother's stories. I could see it. This is where I can start a new life.
Wow, this is so exciting. I am so looking forward to getting into this game. I want to thank you for joining me. I plan for this to be a full series. We will talk a little bit more about the game once we get in here and get working, but I hope that you will stick around because this is bound to be a lot of fun. This is an incredible game. All right, so here we go. This is Medieval Dynasty. It is an absolutely beautiful game. It is extremely immersive, but it's also extremely slow. I have made some adjustments to the settings to make things speed up just a hair. We'll get a little bit more into that, but first let's get the story of what's going on here. So this gentleman here recognizes us. And we say, "Are you all right? You look like you've seen a ghost." "So you aren't one? Good. For a second there, I thought I lost it. Ha ha. But your eyes, you look just like him." So we're like, "You're mistaking us for somebody." And he says, "Wanda's son, aren't you? Jordan's nephew." So he's telling us he didn't really know our mom, but he knew of her. And then he's going to find out that she's gone. We're going to tell him she's gone. Damn it, this world. I guess it can be as cruel as it is beautiful. I'm sorry. We take a positive view on it. It's okay. And he says, "That's very mature of you. I'm sure they would be proud." And then he gives us some bad news that our Uncle Jordan is no longer with us. He passed away. We have a little bit of a moment, but he lets us know that this valley is filled with good people, and he tells us we're free to go wherever we want and start a new life. He's giving us permission to build a farm on any unlanded land in the valley. So we can construct a house, we can build a whole village. And we're like, just like that, for free? And he lets us know that we have to pay taxes to the king annually. But apart from that, yes, we're free to do what we want as long as we do not break the law. So here he's just giving us kind of our first little goal and a way to get ourselves started. And he wants us to build a house. So that is going to be our first goal. And that's what this episode here, day 1, is going to be all about: finding a place that we want to settle and building a home. Now, I so very badly want to settle on some of the prettier parts of this map, and I have debated about it for a long time, but there are downsides to the prettier areas. So here, I just wanted to see who this young lady was and what her skills are, because we're going to need a wife. And I realize I'm not crazy about her at the moment. I know the skills that we need. I would like to bring on a wife who has the skills that we need. So here, it's just telling us a little bit about wives and the importance of them. So we have to romance her. Then we have to keep her happy, and she's going to give us an heir. So in this game, it's literally a dynasty. So you have an heir, and then when you die, you continue playing. We continue playing as that heir. So I have decided I was going to speed up this part because it took me forever to find a spot that I wanted to settle in, and I did a lot of picking up of resources along the way. This is what this game is all about. There's lots of chopping, there's lots of gathering, and there's lots of building, and it's hard work, and it takes a long time. So the settings that I have used for this game were not available when I first played this game in early access. So I changed some of the settings. I changed it so that building is faster, crafting is faster, and I gave us unlimited stamina and unlimited carry weight. Now, is this going to make the game much easier? Yes. I recognize that we can change these settings at any time. I did all of those things in the interest of speed and time because I want to build. I want to build a beautiful village. I want to focus on that and allow us to really immerse ourselves into this medieval world and our dynasty and our town, our village, our people. So if we decide along the way that that's making the game a little too easy or going a little too fast, that's fine. We can adjust that later. So I left the seasons so that they are only 3 days long. I debated on doing 4. I ended up doing 3. So here I'm like, I want a view, okay? I want a view. And obviously I'm doing a voiceover after the fact. And I wish I would have spent more time showing you all the map, which I think I do here shortly. But there are some gorgeous areas of this game, but they're so far away from the other villages. And travel is the big thing in this game that takes forever at the beginning of the game. When you have no money and you haven't built up your village yet, eventually you can get donkeys and horses and make things more efficient and make travel faster. There is a lot of running around between all of those different villages, and it takes forever. So I will probably speed up a lot of that along the way. This is actually at like 200% speed because I literally spent so long trying to find a spot. I'm like, where are we going to have a gorgeous view, but still be somewhat central and near some of the villages that we're going to spend a lot of time in? Because we have to recruit new people in the villages. We have to do quests in the villages. And you have to do quests in this game to gain dynasty reputation points, which allow you to bring on more people and grow your settlement. And you actually have to do the main storyline in order to build more buildings. Like there's a building limit in this game. So all of these things, I love this game so much. I love it so much, but it is very time consuming. So as I said before, I did make those adjustments to the settings so that we can spend a little more time. But as you can see here in that brief little view of the map, here we go. I wanted it to still be somewhat central, but beautiful. I love that this stream is going through right here. I love the view of the mountains and this river. It's gorgeous. So I'm like, okay, I want this. I pretty much at this point have decided I want this area. Now it was just a matter of where are we putting our first house, our first little cabin. They are so cute, by the way. I just love everything about this game. We haven't really seen a lot of animals yet, but there are animals all over in this game. Just a heads up that there is hunting in this game, and we will be doing hunting, and we will be skinning animals. Now, there is no graphic animation for that, but it does show like you bending down with your knife, and there's no blood, there's no actual animation of the skinning, but you do bend down and there's a little bit of sound effects. So if hunting is not your thing, just letting you know now that that is what we're going to be doing. So chop, 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 chop. This takes forever. So we have to cut down enough trees to build our little cabin. We mainly need sticks, stones, and logs to build the first house. So I made the axe. And then as you can see on the side there, it's the chapter, which is basically, keeping us on track. It builds as we build and kind of keeps us going. One thing that I struggle with in this game is finding a balance, like balancing between growing the settlement, doing the quests, completing all of the things that need to be completed to be able to continue to grow. There's a lot. There is a lot to it. I would love you all to join in on kind of the overall plan of the village, but I really want to focus on animals if I can, because when I first started playing this game, I believe there was chickens and pigs and maybe cows. I played in very, very early access, and they have added so much to this game since then. And I would love to get to a point of being a successful horse breeder in this game, because that is very lucrative. Of course, there are so many elements that go into that. So it's going to take a long time for us to get there. So I think every episode is going to be a day, and they're probably going to run about 20 minutes. And I'll be able to get these up very frequently. They're much easier to do than some of my other things that I am doing right now. It's the game itself that is kind of slow. I will say, as of recording this voiceover right now, I am in the fall of year 1. So I'm almost done with the first year of the game. So I've recorded ahead quite a bit. But that said, please leave your comments and suggestions below and let me know if I'm doing things that don't make sense or I'm doing something wrong. I have not played this game in so long, but I cannot, even though I played in way early access and it was a while ago, I have over 100 hours in this game. That is how good this game is. And again, it does take a lot of time to accomplish things in this game. And when I played in early access, there were no way to adjust those building and crafting times like there are now. So I think now it'll go a little bit quicker. And as I said before, when we get to a point, if we feel like it's not challenging anymore, we can change those back. Here I almost die. You do have to watch that you don't die. Animals can attack you and kill you. Trees obviously can do so as well. I have died by pig in this series already. As long as you save, it's not like a perma death. You can go back to your previous save. Like, it's not completely over, but you do lose whatever progress wasn't made. So you have to remember to save frequently, which I honestly fail to do, and I'm trying to get in a better habit of. But look at this, our first little house. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need more stuff. I need more sticks and more logs. So out we go. Chop, chop, chop. Gather, gather, gather. That is what this is all about. And you have to eat and you have to drink. So here we are going to the river. Not only do you have to eat and drink, you also have to stay clean, because when you're trying to romance the ladies and stuff, if you are stinky, it's no good. So here I'm going to collect some reeds and I'm going to drink some water. We need the reeds for the thatch roof. So eventually we can get our straw from gardening, but at the early stages of the game, the only way to really get that is to collect reeds. So there are nice little helpful starting game treasures around the map that you can find, and those end up being extremely beneficial. A lot of times there's things like seedlings for fruit trees, which is incredible. Love that. A lot of that is very helpful. So I sped this up as well because I just went ham. I just went totally ham. I'm like, I have unlimited carry weight. I'm going to collect all the reeds, all of them. I'll just let you enjoy the sound effects for a moment. Notice how I had to go back and make it an even number. I was trying to get to 100 and I went over by 1, so I had to grab one more to make it 102 because that is the type of person that I am. All right, so we're almost done. This is so exciting. I love this spot. I think it's going to end up being quite beautiful when we get to really building this up. And I have never gotten to a point in this game where I could spend time decorating. Like, it's so grindy. I mean, if you really want an immersive experience and you want to spend time in a game and really feel like you are investing in something, this is the game. It's definitely the game, but you have to be prepared for a lot of grind. So here we are grinding. And I thought about speeding some of this up as well, but it makes me dizzy as it is, looking down at the ground like that in this game. So I didn't want to do that because we'd all be like car sick, motion sick from it. So, we got one more. We got to do the loft. And then we have accomplished something incredible. Oh, I don't have enough logs. I don't have enough logs. Oh my goodness. So, one negative thing, and this actually impacted where I chose to build our house, is the trees. Some of them give you more logs than others. So these birch trees only give you 2. Maple trees give you 4. So it takes the same effort to knock them down, but they harvest differently. So the good news is we eventually will have villagers to help gather the wood for us. And they're pretty efficient at it if you do it correctly. So we have done the first chapter. Wow. So now we have to set a trap. We have to craft some more things and we have to hunt. And then essentially we just have to survive the season if we can manage to do that. So we need to gather up some more things to be able to make certain things. You need logs to make the spears, unfortunately. So, like I said, lots of chop chop. Enjoy. Not me spinning circles because I literally cannot figure out where the other tree I felled is. And it was an optical illusion. It's right there. It looked intact, okay? In my defense, it looked like it was still intact. So here we're going to build some more things. It's warning me that I do have to sleep. Look how pretty it is. So gorgeous. I think I'm looking for a place for the rabbit trap. Or not. I think so. I think I was trying to get close to our home and not get too far away, but also get where there are rabbits. Because I believe when you build a building, like the spawning animals in that general vicinity will stop spawning. Which in nature, that is something that happens, right? When you build, the animals leave. So we ruin their habitat, they disappear. So that's the unfortunate thing. So I'm just going to check off some of these other little things here. And get them all equipped in a way that makes sense for quick access. And it takes me a while to remember where they are. Like, I will mean to pull out my spear and I'll pull out my knife, and it gets me in trouble sometimes, like when a boar is attacking me. But, you know, it is what it is. And here I'm just going to do some pathways, some roads for us. Of map out what this is going to look like. And I do have a vision in my head of this. Generally speaking, and we'll see how it all ends up working out in the end. But I really want to put thought into this village. I ran into a little bit of trouble here because, you know, my brain did not want this to be at an angle, and it didn't look complete to me, but it wasn't letting me do what I wanted to do. And yeah, not good for my squirrely little brain here, but we work it out eventually. I will let you know that although my brain was wanting to decorate with some of the orchard trees, I end up not doing it the way that it's going to happen here, the way I'm going to set it up. I do end up changing how it's going to go. Running into an issue of it being straight here, so my gears are turning. And I decide to do like just individual squares, but this is all essentially wasted time because I do end up deleting these later and changing how I'm doing things. But I want to put some thought into how things are constructed within the village. So instead of just building an orchard, if we place them in desirable locations, they almost act as, you know, aesthetics and almost like decorations, especially cherry trees, if we ever get some of those. So that's kind of my thinking here. Instead of just plopping down a big square orchard, we can kind of use these as a way to create good aesthetics in our village. So I was trying to do a wooden hoe and I accidentally did another shovel. So now we have 2 shovels. But we're going to work this out. And yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up our first day in Medieval Dynasty. So we did accomplish quite a lot. We got our house built. We have advanced in our chapter storyline. We are going to have to work a little bit more at quests in the next episode and the following one after that, I believe, as well, because we do have to get that dynasty reputation in order to get new villagers to come. So if we tried to go recruit a new villager right now, they would decline to come because we don't have a good reputation yet. So we do have to work on that in order to really start building. So it will be some time before we really start adding more villagers and a lot of buildings. I do get most of the buildings that we really want in by the fall. So that is something to look forward to, even if it seems a little slow for a moment here. And I'm even going hunting in the dark. So I wanted to make sure I got that done. And then the only thing that we have left to do for that is to survive for the season. And here I can't select the dang rabbit until I pick up all the sticks and stuff. And I'm like, am I ever going to be able to grab this rabbit? But yes, I do. So it is very, very dark. What are our goals for the future? Find a wife. I would like to have a wife before spring of the next year. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that is my goal. We do need to find a wife. And like I said, we need to do a lot of questing. And we'll just see what villagers are available. That's really, their skills are going to determine who we kind of get first. Like if there's only a man that has the skills that we need, then we're not going to get a wife right away, right? You can have two people to a single home, and they have to be a male and a female in the same home. You can't put two of the same sex in one home. And those couples that you create that way, they do end up having children of their own. Quick note, we can only have one kid, and that is our heir. The other families, I believe they can have two. So that's our goal. We have to find a wife. And that's really going to do it for episode 1. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you.